So I'm gonna make this chest fly. It's my version of a flyer. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible and as light as possible so that it's more fuel efficient. It might look quite stupid, but it works. So let's start. Everything we need is inside the chest. Just pull everything out. Start with a few bearings. This is the center of lift bearing. It will make sense of eventually, I hope. I can actually just put it up on this so it's more obvious what I'm doing. Putting out some more bearings. These will be to stabilize the flyer in the air. Need a lot of those. A few of those. Well, let's see. I need a few lights here. These lights will be down lights after the stabilizer is activated. You'll see. Let's see here. This block is needed to make it perfectly stable. I'm just gonna take it up this. A few controllers. I'm not sure if you... I'm doing this towards the front. This is the front where the lights are going to go downwards. And I like to do it with the screens out. Doesn't really matter, but prefer the look of the screens. Yeah, probably need to put a seat on first. Of course, it ended up upside down. So the seats. Put it in the middle, so it's right above the chest. We can put it on the lift, and we have to weld these parts together, or else the stabilizer doesn't work. Let's see here. That can wait. Need a few buttons. Doing a downlight as in the rear as well. It could probably just go straight backwards because these two lights will be more than enough. And I'm gonna put one inside here, so hinge here. The light goes outwards somehow. There we go. Then connect everything. Wait with that. I'm now gonna put the steering glitch in under the seat. Need that, and probably that. See, I'm putting it backwards, connecting the spring to that. Now I'm gonna have to put it on the lift, or else it won't connect to both. You'll see, can I stand behind here? Stand on that light? No, I cannot. Well, what's happening here is when I do this and make it point downwards, it also connects to the hinge that's below it. The hinge there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Tip it over. That hinge is also connected to this now. And I'm just going to put this here so it looks like some kind of exhaust pipe or something. There. Call it what you want. But this is the steering hinge at least, or steering glitch, probably should call it. So when I now turn, the whole thing turns. Of course, I haven't stabilized anything yet, so it's not doing supposed to do yet. And now I can show you why I built it the way I did. I'm just gonna hook this up to that, so it's free floating. take that spring up again to show this better. Taking the spring up because it's stabilizing the whole thing. But the point is, it's now stable in all directions from where I want the thrust. The thrust force is going to go on this bearing and up and forward eventually. If I take this block off, it's no longer the case. You can see that it's a bit heavier in the front, so it's more likely to end up with this down. And if I get it to stop somewhere else, I can show it by putting the block somewhere else on the vehicle. Stop, please. Stop. Thank you. And if I now put the block here, it will update, the physics will update, and it will try to balance itself again. And you will see the front end or the chair end tipping downwards. See that? That's what we're preventing by putting this block here. It's also doubling as some kind of landing block or whatever you want to call it. Whatever. Now I'm gonna have to put the spring back on. So now it's perfectly balanced. The spring doesn't have any weight at all, so me putting the spring in here doesn't matter. I'm also gonna have to put it back on the lift to get this to happen. I think you might actually see the green part here lighting up. It means it's connecting to both. So there we go. And now I just actually want the thrusters. And I'm going to put them on hinges again, because I want them to be centered on this axis, or on this, well, center line of the vehicle. And seeing as the thrusters are too wide, I have to put them at a 45-degree angle. And I'm putting one forward, one backwards, or wherever you call it, so that it's balanced when it spawns in as well, or when you put it on a lift. Because the lift is how you recenter it if it gets off center. In the air, it probably won't matter at all because it will take so long before it changes, so it doesn't matter. Now I'm just connecting all the 4 in front, all the 4 in the back to this controller. Doesn't actually matter which control you pick, but good to know where you have it. Then I'm going to turn 2 of these, so these 2 will counter rotate towards each other, and the same in the front, but here I want to have the bottom part rotate up. Then you will see what I mean when I take it off the lift, and well, after I've turned all of them to 180 degrees. 180 because that's how I stretch the bearings the most. 360 would be back to 0, so it doesn't do anything. So 180 is the maximal stretch. So if I put this down, you will see the lights in the front rotating. Look at them now. See that? Now the vehicle has stretched those bearings and is stabilizing, both in the front and the rear. And I'm gonna up the speed on this one because there's no reason for it to be that slow. Do that again. Do it from the rear so you can see the rear doing the same thing. See that rotation? That's the stabilizer for the vehicle. Might work without it, but it will get off center much faster. So let's see here. We need lights. Only reason I actually want to switch for the lights and not on all the time is because I want this thruster button to be on 2, so it's right above my W key. Makes it much easier to fly. So all the lights goes to this one. Just connected. Now it is at least. And then we do this to the seat, so it gets number 1, number 2. There we go. And these side ones I will do on the other controller. Set them to 75, not here, but here, 75. Make sure that they rotate backwards when I do this. This one is correct, but the other one will be incorrect then. Flip it. And now if I sit on the, well, hold on, I have to connect it to the seat first. When I connect this to the seat and then use the W key, this happens. And it's so slow, so I'm gonna fix that. Higher speed, and I can connect this bearing. It's the bearing that holds the thruster, also to this one. Same with this one. Both to, I think it's -45. Yeah, it is. So now you can see it's centered around that point. So if I do this, it will be on the center line of the vehicle. Increase the thrusts on both of them. Connect number 2. They are connected already, and it's connected to the seats, so everything is hooked up. Does the lights work? Yeah, everyone. Center front one. Oh yeah, and I want that bearing also to go into this one. It's just, yeah, it's the front light, doesn't really matter. Could just put it in there without the bearing. Something that perhaps. Yeah, that's fun. Like that. And now we have. Why doesn't that light work? I probably put it on the wrong one. Something else. That one. Yeah, put it on the 2. It should be on the 1. There we go. Did something stupid again, didn't I? Yeah, disconnected that one. So now that's connected again. Then I have to do this. Again, I do the same mistake. Downwards, 45. It's a bit too much. 15 maybe? Sure. Now all the lights should turn on with the 1 button. And the 2 button will be our thruster power. Did I put both of those on max? Yeah, I did. I need some fuel. I think that's here somewhere. What the? Where's my fuel? So long since I used this. Here it is. Haven't been playing for quite some time now, so putting all that in there. And I don't use a fuel tank because it weighs too much, so you will have to fuel it up. Probably take with you some more fuel for safety. It was somewhere around here. Fuel. And we can take it on the lift to be sure that it's straight. Like that. Now we can fly. Lights and all. So now we have a really stable flyer. Every time you land, it will probably get off center, and you probably will have to put it on the lift again. If you want the thrusters down again, you just press S, sorry, and W for forward. So this is a really fuel efficient flyer. You can get everywhere. It isn't helicopter accurate because you will have to, well, do a lot of stuff to get land on things, I think. Fly, of course, but it doesn't really matter that much. As usually, this is just a fast way to get from A to B or on top of warehouses or stuff like that. So that's the flyer. Bye bye.